Our Dhamma journey, I'm honored to introduce our esteemed Thero, Venerable Pothuhera Mahindasiri Thero, who will grace us with the profound insights and teachings. With deep wisdom and compassion, Venerable Thero has dedicated their life to the study and practice of Dhamma, guiding countless souls towards the enlightenment. And let us welcome Thero with open hearts and minds as we embark on this transformative journey today. I kindly request for the audience to remain standard, and I would like to respectfully invite Venerable Thero, Pothuhera Mahindasiri Thero, to observe Panchasila, offer Buddha Puja, and to proceed with the Dhamma sermon.
So you can keep standing until we observe Panchasila. Then while we are doing the Vandana, you all can be seated. Okay? So let's all together pay homage to our great teacher, Supreme Buddha. And let's all together go homage to the Supreme Buddha and go refuge to the Triple Gems. Say with me, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. To observe Panchasila, 5 precepts, repeat after me. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I observe the precept of abstaining from killing beings. Adinadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I observe the precept of abstaining from stealing. Kāmesu miccāchāra veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I observe the precept of abstaining from sexual misconduct, Musavada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. I observe the precept of abstaining from telling lies, Surameraya Majjapama Datthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. I observe the precept of abstaining from taking intoxicating drinks and drugs. I observe these precepts for happiness in this life and to realize the Four Noble Truths. In this Gautama Buddha's dispensation, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now you can be seated. Please be seated. So let's all together venerate the triple gems. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijacharana sampanno Sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarathi satha deva manussanang buddho bhagavati swakhato bhagavata dhammo Sanditthiko akaliko ehi passiko opanayiko pacchatang veditabbo vinyuhiti supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujjupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyayapatipanno bhagavato savaka Samicipatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Yadidang chattari purisa yugani Attha purisa puggala Esa bhagavato savaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo Dakhineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang punyakhetang lokasati Vandami chetiyang sabbang sabbthani supatithitam Saririka dhatu mahabodhing Buddharupang sakalang sada Yasa mule nisinnover Sabbari vijayang akam Patto sabbang nyutang sattha Vanditang bodhipadepang Ime ete mahabodhi Loknatena pujita Ahang pite namassami Bodhiraja namathute Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now let's all together offer all the offerings that we have prepared for our great teacher, Supreme Buddha's enlightenment. You can repeat after me. My homage to Supreme Buddha. My homage to the Supreme Dhamma. My homage to the Supreme Sangha. To my great teacher, Supreme Buddha, I offer with great respect these bright lights, sweet fragrance, beautiful flowers, bowl of pure water, and sweet drinks. May all these offerings be offered to Supreme Buddha. Be offered to Supreme Buddha. Be offered to Supreme Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. So first we start by venerating to the Supreme Buddha. Say with me. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. First of all, may my homage be to my great Kalyana Mitra, my great teacher who taught me the Supreme Buddha's Dhamma, most venerable Kiribati Jnanananda Mahathera, our Kalyana Mitra Pinwat Loku Swamin Wahanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Most venerable Mahasangha and honorable guests and dear devotees. Today, it's a special day for all of us. And today is a special day for me especially. I guess I am the happiest person in this room. Do you know why? People from all the religions, people from all walks of life, they have come together to listen to the Buddha's teachings and to show the gratitude to the Buddha. This is what Buddhism should be. Do you believe that Buddhism is for everyone? Huh? Do you believe it? You do? Buddhism is not for everyone. Why is that? We all have heard, no, Buddhism is for everyone. Buddhism is not for everyone. But Buddhism is not only for Buddhists. Okay? Buddhism is for every person who can think and who uses his power of thinking and who seeks something valuable in their life. That is the thing that we have to remember. The Buddha said, Panyavanta sayang dhammo, nayang dhammo dupanyasa. My teachings, the Supreme Buddha's teachings, are for wise people, not for a person who is not using his wisdom. And that should be understood. That is why I am very happy today, because today you all are gathered here to seek something, to think something. So a couple of minutes ago, we all venerated the Buddha. A couple of minutes ago, we offered offerings to the Buddha. So there are two ways of offering in Buddhism. How many are there? There are two ways we can do offerings. One is called amisa. What is it called? Amisa. Amisa puja. Okay? Amisa in Pali language, amisa can be translated as materials. Puja means offerings. So amisa puja means material offerings. And there's another offering. What is it? It's called pratipatti puja. Pratipatti can be translated as practice. Okay? And puja means offering. It's a practice offering. So these are the two kinds of offering in Buddhism. The Buddha, at his final moment, great teacher Supreme Buddha, he passed away on a Vesak full moon power day. A full moon day on the May month. So it is said that the Buddha's, there were three great incidents that happened in the Buddha's life. First is the birth. And that was happened on a full moon power day on a May month. Full moon day on a May month. And the second incident is his enlightenment, his awakening. It was also happened on a full moon day, on the May month. And the Buddha's passing also was happened on a full moon day in May month. That is quite significant. So that is why we celebrate Vesak, or we call it Buddha Purnima. This full moon day is called Buddha Purnima. This is the full moon day of the Supreme Buddha. So, at his final moment, all the people from all over the India, they got the message that Buddha is about to pass away. And they came to the city of Kusinara to pay the respect to the Buddha, the final respect to the Buddha. All the kings from all over India, they came to show the respect to the Buddha. Okay? And all the deities and all the devas from all over the world, they came to pay respect to the Buddha. And all the kings and everyone was... Now when kings come, normally they don't come empty-handed. How do they come? They could come with offerings, right? So they were offering all the things like we did today. And there was this monk who attended the Buddha, who helped the Buddha for around 25 years of his lifetime. His name was Ananda. Venerable Ananda said to the Buddha, "Oh, my great teacher, Supreme Buddha, see, people and these kings are offering so many things to you. They offer flowers to you." The Buddha, seeing all these offerings, turned to Venerable Ananda and said, "Ananda, this is not the greatest offering. This is not the best offering that one can offer me. This is not the best way to praise me. The best way to praise me or offer me is to practice. If someone out there, all alone, far away, maybe he's not around here, but if someone is there all alone, practicing what I have taught them, practicing the way I have taught them, trying to realize the truth of this world, if someone is dedicated to that, that is the greatest offering that one can offer me. That is the best offering that one can offer me." Okay? And that offering is called pratipatti, the practice. So the Buddha always praised and adored the practice, not the material offering. But there's a problem. The material offerings has been looked down over the ages. It has been put down over the ages. I have heard this. So many people say, "Oh, we should not offer flowers or these things to the Buddha. The best thing is to offer our practice." Yes, the best thing is to offer your practice. Best thing is to walk the path. But as people who have gained a lot of wisdom, a wonderful way of life from the Buddha, we should show our gratitude in both ways. Okay? In both ways. So this should be balanced. Okay? The material offering and the practice offering should be balanced. Buddhism is all about balance in life. The Buddha teaches a way of balance. And that is why we call it the middle path. In Buddhism, it teaches you to not to fall into extremes in life. So I'll tell you a nice, wonderful story of the Buddha's life. So the Buddha was living an extreme life before he became a monk, before he left his royal life. He was living in an extreme. He lived a luxurious royal life, a life of a royal princess, or prince, I'm sorry. Okay? That was an extreme. Why it was extreme? The environment that Prince Siddhartha had in his royal life was unimaginably comfortable, too luxurious. His father tried to remove all the sufferings, and he tried to avoid all the sufferings to be contacted with this prince. Okay? An old person was not allowed into the palace. A sick person was not allowed into the palace. Okay? A dead body was never seen in the palace. Because his father had this fear that there was a prophecy about this prince, that one day, he would leave this life. There was a prophecy was made to this Prince Siddhartha. One day he's going to leave this life. So his father didn't want to see that. So what he did, he tried his best to stick him into the normal life. But it was not successful. Prince Siddhartha encountered with the realities of life. But he encountered in a very later stage of life. That was the most important thing. See, from our birth, all of us, from our birth, we encounter with these sufferings in life, don't we? Yes, we do. We see old people. We see sick people, We see dead bodies and everything. Okay? So this is nothing special, no? This is nothing special. But for Prince Siddhartha, it was so special because he had never seen it in his entire life. So he was shocked. He was amazed. How can it happen? But in every time when he encountered with this reality of life, he asked this question. What is that one question? It was so wise and it was so profound, that question. He asked, is it going to happen to me? Is it common for everyone? And then he asked, why? What's the reason? Okay. See, this is the question that we have never asked. We all encounter the realities of life, but we don't ask this one question. What is it? 3-lettered question. What is it? Why? Why is it happening? What's the reason? That's the beginning of wisdom. What's the beginning of wisdom? Asking, why? Questioning about the realities of life. Why is it happening? And that Prince Siddhartha did. That's the specialty. And when you ask why, you don't become a follower, you become a seeker. So Buddhism is all about making a person a seeker, not a follower. Okay? So he was in that extreme. That extreme is called Kama-sukhallikana yoga. That is called the extreme of worldly pleasure. Okay? So the Buddha understood that being too much in this, like being busy with this worldly pleasure, is not going to help man. Why? Why is it? It's too much is bad? See, it's too much of everything is bad, isn't it? Too much of anything? Is it good or bad? Bad. See, a little bit of sugar is okay. No? But too much? That's bad. That will hurt you. Okay? A little bit of oily food is no problem. But too much? That's going to hurt you. Okay? Little bit of social media is okay. No? But when it comes to too much, then that's going to become bad. So that's the problem, no? We fall into extremes. It is very easy to fall into extremes. It's very easy to chase only behind the worldly pleasures. But it is not easy to be balanced. It's not easy to live the life in a balanced way. So he understood this is an extreme. So what he did, he thought, okay, I need to leave this life to find what I am seeking, to find the liberation. So he left his life. So he left his royal life. And now he enters to the spiritual realm, spiritual world of becoming ascetics and practice spirituality. And back in those days, India was the heaven for spiritual practice. And he fell into the other extreme now. And that is called self-mortification. In ancient times, they believed that giving suffering to this body will give you the liberation, will help you to seek the truth and understand the truth. So he fell into that, and he practiced it to the pinnacle. Self-mortification. And he understood then again, this is not going to help man. And then he found the balance in life. And that balanced life is called the Noble Eightfold Path, the middle way. So understand, to be balanced in life, we all need to understand our life is unbalanced. Okay? It's okay to be unbalanced. That's the normal nature. But we have to understand that to be balanced, we have to practice our life in a balanced way. For a lay person like you devotees, how to be balanced in life? This is what I need to share with, the first thing that I need to share with you today. How to be balanced. First of all, I will ask a question from you. What are you seeking from life? What do you find? What do you want from life? What's the purpose? Raise your hand if you say, happiness is my purpose. To be happy. Very good. I see a couple of hands. Maybe many hands now? Yes, okay, good. See, we all like to be happy. So for a person, for a human to be happy, there are two kinds of happiness. One is called material happiness, and the other one is called spiritual happiness. These are the two things that we all need to seek in life. But we need to balance it. And to balance is the most difficult thing in life. What is it? To be balanced. Why? Once you seek the material happiness, what do you forget? Huh? You forget the spiritual happiness. And if someone is totally seeking the spiritual happiness, most of the time they forget the material happiness. And they complain, why all the bad things happen to me? Why I'm not getting what I like in my life? Why? Because it is difficult to be balanced. So for a person, for a lay person practicing in life, we all need to balance this. But how? Ask that wise question. What is it? How? How to be balanced? I would say it is all about what we give priority to. It's all about priority. Right? I will ask a question. Why are you here today? You had work. You had other things to do. Right? You had other responsibilities to do. But you made time for 3 hours to come here and just sit down and listen. Why? Because it was important. It was important to you. The person inside you taught you that, okay, this is important. Put it on the first place in the list. Today I'm participating to this. And that is why you came here. That is priority. But so many people complain. They complain to me sometimes. They come and ask, it's very difficult to meditate. It's very difficult to maybe practice the spirituality. Why? It's all about giving priority to it. See, no matter what happens in life, we eat food. Don't we? We eat. No matter what happened, how much busy was the day, we eat food. You know? No matter what happened, we eat that. We do that. Why? Because it is prioritized. Okay? No matter what happened today, during the day, what we do? We clean ourselves. Why? Because it is the priority. No matter what happened during the day, don't you hang out on social media? Isn't it? Yes. Why? Because it is the priority. So why can't we do maybe 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of spiritual practice during the day? No matter what happened, no matter how much busy the day was, it's all about what you give priority to. It's about how much value that you give to the spiritual life. Understand, that giving the priority to spiritual life also essential for all of you. Why? Because there is a limit that the materials can give us the happiness. There is a limit for that. Okay? But once you practice the spiritual life, you can go limitless. The happiness or the pleasure that we gain by the spiritual practice is so different than this material world. I will give you an example. I know most of you have done this in your life. Let's say you're going from your home, you're traveling from your home to your workplace. And you see this poor person on the street in the morning near a color light. He's sitting there and you feel that person's hunger. Have you ever felt people's hunger? You can feel it. If someone is suffering, you can feel it. Okay? And that quality is called karuna in Buddhism. Feeling someone's sadness. It's called compassion. Compassion, the word compassion derived from the Italic word compati. Compati means to suffer together. We all need to suffer together. How? By being for each other. By being there for each other to help. So the ability to feel someone's sadness or suffering is called compassion. And I know that most of you have felt that in all of your life. Let's say you see this poor person and you know that you feel that he's in hunger. And now you have maybe the lunch box or packet with you in your bag. And you feel like giving it to that person. Okay? You feel like giving. Have you ever felt that? I know all of you have felt that in your life. To give something. And that very moment, there is the voice in your head talking to you. Okay? There are two parts. And the one part says, give it. Give it. He's in hunger. You need to give it. And the other part says, if I give, what's there for me? Is there those two voices in your head? Yes, yes. We all have that. No? Sometimes it comes with the first person. That means it speaks like I should give. No? Sometimes it says that you should do this, I should do that. And it comes with the second person as well. What is that? You should do that. Okay. So we struggle with these two voices and we win one part, one voice. And that voice is the giving, the generous voice. Let's say you gave your lunch, the lunch that you took it to eat for you. It was for you, but you gave it. And you give it and you see this person is eating that food and overcoming his hunger and being happy. You see the smile on that person's face. What do you feel? Huh? What do you feel? You feel happy? I would say happy, the word happy is not enough to describe that feeling. That is more than happy. You felt like you want something. Okay. You say, that's one kind of happiness. That is spiritual happiness. The happiness that we gain by giving, being generous. And giving is not always the materials. You can practice giving by listening to people. The ability to listen to someone is a superpower in these days. People don't listen to each other, do we? We don't. We don't listen to each other, but we listen more and more to Spotify playlist. Isn't it? We listen to songs, but we don't listen to each other. If we can listen to each other, same like we listen to songs, in the same way that you listen to your Spotify playlist, I would say the world will be much beautiful. Isn't it? Giving is one way. That giving is one way. Lending your ear. Lending your hand. Giving your hand in the most wanted place in someone's life. It's also giving. Now what I am doing here is giving. Okay? What you're doing here is also giving. For whom? For you. This is a spiritual gift that gives you to yourself. Understand? So that is giving. See, now you're happy. Let's say you gave that food to that person. Now you're happy. You're more than happy. What's the difference of the spiritual, that happiness? 5 years, 10 years passed, let's say. You gave it and that incident happened and you forgot it now. You forgot it and that person also forgot it. Let's say 5 years after, you're traveling in the same route and you're seeing that same person on the road. What do you remember? You remember the thing that you did on that day, don't you? And what do you feel? Do you feel the same happiness? Yes, you do. You can feel the same happiness by giving. So that is spiritual happiness. But material happiness is not in that way. Okay? You have to understand that. Material happiness is momentary, but spiritual happiness, the more you think about it, the more you will be happy. So you have to practice these two things. That is why the Buddha teaches us 3 ways, 3 paths to practice this happiness. The first one is called Dhamma. Dhamma is giving. Dhamma is being generous. Dhamma is being selfless. And once you practice this amazing quality, Dhamma, giving, I would say, you practice another amazing quality. And that we call in Buddhism, metta. What is it? Metta. Metta means love and kindness. Love and kindness. That's an amazing quality. Okay? Now today, when we organized this program, a lot of people came together. A lot of people came forward to help. A lot of devotees, a lot of people are willing to help. And that is that amazing quality. What is it? It's called the metta. Love and kindness. This is a quality. Usually people do love and kindness meditation. But loving kindness meditation, metta is not only a meditation, but more of a quality, internal quality that we all must develop. We all have it, but we must develop it. How? Not with words, but with intentional actions. Love is not a noun. Love is a verb. Understand? Keep this in your mind, okay? What is it? Love is not a noun, it's a verb. Verbs have actions. Verbs have power. Verbs have that potential to make a change. Not just with words. If it was with words, it becomes a noun. Just to a word. See, we always say, I love you. I care for you. But we don't do it by our actions. So love should be put into action. Love should be made a verb. So now you have to think, how can I make the love in my life, that I love and kindness that I hold in my mind, my heart, a verb? How can I put into action? Okay? I would say the more you express love from actions, you can feel the love. Why? There's a saying, actions speak louder than words, isn't it? Yes. So dana is all about love. Giving is always about love and kindness that you practice. You put it into action, not only for people who you know, but also for all the people, but for the strangers. See, now you all are gathered here. You don't know each other. But one thing can make the connection between us. What is that one thing? The love, the kindness. That is what Supreme Buddha did in his entire life. He practiced the love that no one can, to an extent that no one can practice. He had to sacrifice a lot of things, unimaginable things, to practice this quality. Say sometimes to practice love, we have to let go. We have to let go things. We have to let go sometimes the material things. Sometimes we have to let go the anger. Sometimes we have to let go the hurtful thing that the other person has done to us. We have to let go it. I know it is difficult. Practicing these things, practicing these qualities, amazing qualities, is not that easy. It is always difficult. And I think it is much better for all these things to be difficult. The more it becomes difficult, the more we feel the value, the more we feel the need of doing it. Isn't it? Yes. Why gold is so much expensive? Why diamonds are so much expensive? Why gems are so much expensive? Why? Because it is so rare, difficult to obtain. You have to sacrifice to gain such a thing. That is why you feel the value. The more difficult becomes the good qualities, valuable qualities, we value them. We feel that. That is why we always talk about, that is why we come to this kind of place and we talk about love and kindness, compassion, patience. These are the things that we are lacking in life. These are the things, are the most difficult things in life. That is why we seek it. So don't think what you listen today and what you're practicing, what you want to practice today is easy. It is always difficult, and it must be difficult for us to feel the value. Understood? So that is one thing. That is all about dana. So I will all invite you to give. Spend your time. Spend at least a little time giving. You can give in many ways. Okay? Once you help, let's say you're living in your normal day-to-day life, and you have your maybe husband and your wife and your children, and there are people around you. You do these things, you do help every day, I know. But you don't think it as a giving. Once you think, once you remember to yourself that this is what I should give, this is more of a giving to these people, you will do it in a more meaningful way. Okay? So that is why we have to know, and we have to understand what is the meaning behind our actions. That is called dana, the first thing. That is the first practice that Buddha introduces us. Dana, give. Once you practice the generosity, you let go of this greediness. You let go of these cravings for some extent in your life. And that is healthy. That is dana. Second practice, the Buddha says, be disciplined from your body and from your words. And in Buddhism we call it sila. So basically in Buddhism, in Buddha's teachings, we practice 5 precepts. That is what we observed in the beginning of this program. 5 precepts. Now don't get this wrong. These are not rules. Okay? This is one complaint that most of the time I get. What is it? So much rules. 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 10 precepts. For a higher ordained monk, 227 precepts. So much rules. Why? These are not rules. This is called discipline. A discipline is not a prison. A rule is a prison. See, we all have grown up with rules, under rules. Aren't we? Yes. Our parents had so many rules. Do you remember your childhood? You had so many rules? Yes. Not to talk with these kind of people. Not to go there. Not to do that. Don't do this. But we all somehow did that. Didn't we? Yes, we found some secret ways to do that. Why? Because everyone likes to break the rules. But sila, or the discipline, is not a rule. It's a policy. It's a way of life that it's a discipline that you put to yourself. That is called self-discipline. You become disciplined, not just because another person said so, but because you value the value of being disciplined. That is how you become disciplined. That is the practice of sila in Buddhism. And that is why the Buddha said, Buddha never said, do not kill animals. Buddha said, stay away from killing animals. Stay away from harming beings. And that's different. Buddha never said, do not steal. The Buddha said, stay away from it, it's harmful. Buddha never said, stay away from sexual misconduct. No, Buddha never said, do not do sexual misconduct. Buddha said, stay away from it. You can choose it. Buddha never said, do not lie. Buddha said, it is bad. It's wrong. You will gain a lot of you will fall into difficult situations when you lie. Haven't we fallen into difficult situations because of lying? Yes, we do. We have to understand that. But this never said, do not drink intoxicating drinks and drugs. Buddha said, stay away from it. You have to understand why. Because it's not healthy. That is why you should do that. It's not a rule. So that is sila. Being disciplined helps you to live a regret-free life. The purpose of practicing the Buddhist discipline is to stay without regret. See, the same mind says that says us to do certain things, but always right after we do that, it starts to complain. Why did you do that? Haven't we fallen into this trap? Yes. Why did you do that? You should not have done that. That's the mind. So that is why the Buddha said, stay away from it. Be disciplined. Practice self-discipline. That is called sila. And the final practice is called bhavana. Bhavana is the mental development, commonly called meditation. So Buddha introduced a way of practicing your mentality and your mind and taking that mind to a special state. The Buddha understood that human mind is so different than the other minds. It is so special. Human mind has the potential to develop to limitless stages. We all have, all the people, all of you are sitting in this room have the same potential. You have to believe it. We all have that potential. The only problem is, what? We're not trying it to do that. Okay? Just once we give a try, you will understand how amazing our mind is. This is the most powerful weapon in this world. It's not the nuclear weapon. The mind is the powerful weapon. Who created the nuclear weapon? Man. Where did this idea came from? In his mind. So the mind is so powerful that it can be developed. The Buddha understood this, and he offered a way to practice it. And that is called meditation. The first step of it is to be aware. To be aware and to be mindful. First step is to be a human being. See, we all are human doings. We are barely human beings. A human being is a being who is being. We try to go somewhere. We try to do something, but we don't know how to be here. The first step of practicing Buddhist meditation is to learn how to be. Learn how to not to do anything and just be. This is the most difficult thing. The most difficult thing to do is to not to do something. Just to be. I will ask just a question, simple question. Let's say you are traveling in flight, 4-hour flight. Okay? Can you travel that 4-hour flight without a book, without your mobile phone, and without any distraction, just sitting? How difficult would it be? Huh? How distracted would it be? It is difficult. The most difficult thing for a man to do is just to sit down. The Buddha teaches you, first sit down. First learn how to just to be, relax, and come to this present moment and enjoy it. And this present moment, for many people, I teach meditation and Buddhism for a lot of kids. Sometimes they say, "Oh, meditation, it's boring." Isn't it? Is meditation boring? No? Yes. It is boring. But boring is peace. Boring is peace. What are you doing usually to be in peace? What do you want to do? You let go of all the distractions. You keep your mobile phone away, you keep other things away, you just be somewhere else. That is to feel the peace. So, yes, meditation is boring, but what is boring is peace. Okay? Sometimes I get this, they say, "Oh, being a monk is so boring." Why? There is nothing to do. Now, there is a thing to do. There is a purpose. But boring. Yes. Why? Because boring is peace. Okay? Don't underestimate the boring. Peace. We find peace in boring. Once you become distracted, what happens to you? Huh? Once the life become not boring, you become distracted. Peace is always boring. I know, meditation is boring, but it's peaceful. We have to seek it. And once you seek it, you find that you can enjoy this. And then meditation becomes, boring becomes enjoyable. Calmness becomes enjoyable. Understand that? So that path, that is the first step of meditation. But it does not stop from that, just being peaceful. The Buddha teaches us that why you should be peaceful, Because without being peaceful, we cannot understand the truth. Once you become distracted, it's difficult to understand the truth of life. Once you become distracted, you don't have the ability, you will lose the ability to find the true nature of life. What is the true nature of life? It is the change. One thing that always prevails throughout our entire life, that is change. Everything is subjected to change. We all need to understand it. Everything is changing. And everything has this intrinsic and inherent nature of changing. You have to understand. To understand, you have to become a seeker, not a follower. See, we are in a follower culture, isn't it? Yes. We like to follow people, but we don't like to seek, find, question, ask why, how. We don't ask it. We always like to nod our head. We don't like to question. The first step of wisdom is to ask why, how it is happening. The Buddha says that you should practice Buddhism by asking questions. Asking questions to understand and realize. Why do you ask questions? Because you realize that you don't know. That is the first step of wisdom. The first step of wisdom is to realize that I don't know. I have to learn more. I have to seek. I need to ask. To ask for anything is the most difficult thing. Why? We have to put down our ego. Isn't it? Yes. To ask for help, should we put down our ego? Yes. To ask for a question and say that I'm not clear with this, can you clarify it? You need to put down your ego. That is the nature of a seeker. So I will all invite you this day. This is a special day for me and for all of you. Ask questions and be a seeker. Okay? Be a seeker. Find something and ask why. What's happening? How it is happening? I need to know. I need to learn. Because you know that, and you understand that I don't know. That's the beginning of wisdom. That is why wisdom begins from the humblest places. Being humble and understanding that I don't know. I have to learn. I have to seek. I need to get the help. That is where you find the truth. So these are the amazing qualities that we all need to practice in life. So if you can practice these three qualities that was taught by the Buddha, you offer the greatest offering to the Buddha. And you can be happy if Buddha would have to see me, okay? If Buddha saw me at that time, he would have been happy about me. Why? Because I am practicing. I'm doing it. This is what we all need to do. This is what has been lost in almost all the religions. What is it? To practice to do it. That is a verb. Practice is it's a verb. It should be put to action. Understand? So that is why these are the most difficult things to do. I'm not saying that it is easy. It is not easy for me as well. Okay? Someone can say, oh, for you no, it's difficult. For every one of us it is difficult. And it's okay to be difficult. And it should be difficult. Why? That is where we value this. And we all come to one day, if you practice this, we all come to one place and one incident we all face in our life. That is the final moment of all of our life. And you can be happy that I lived my life to the fullest. I lived a valuable life. So then you don't want to worry about how long you lived. People worry about how long they live, but they don't worry about how they live. What is the best thing to worry? How long or how we live? Huh? How we live. The quality of life. How much we practiced love. How much we practiced the kindness. How much spirituality we practiced. How much the love that we spread to people. How much I gave my love to my children, to my husband, to my wife, to people around me. If you lived like that, if we lived like that, we all have lived the greatest life that a person can ever live. So understand these amazing qualities. And I will all invite you to seek the truth and seek something in your life. Be a seeker. Ask questions. Explore. And find the balance in your life. So I wish you, for all of you, may all of you be able to find the balance, and may all of you be able to find the spiritual happiness and the happiness that you seek in your life, and may all of you be able to realize Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya.
With all due respect, we thank Most Venerable Pothuhera Mahindasiri Thero for the Dhamma sermon. As we transition into our guided meditation session, let us embrace the opportunity to quiet our minds and connect with the present moment. Guided by the gentle guidance of our facilitator, we will embark our journey inwards, exploring the vast landscapes of our consciousness with curiosity and compassion. Let us now prepare ourselves to cultivate inner peace and mindfulness as we embark this sacred journey of discovery of renewal. As Venerable Thero mentioned, it's boring, but it's peace. Let's embark on this journey and practice our minds to become pleasing and soothing. I most respectfully hand over the guided meditation session to Most Venerable Pothuhera Mahindasiri Thero.
Right. Now it's the time for us to learn how to be. Let's practice this. So before practicing, as this is a guided meditation session, let's talk about a little bit about the meditation. Now that most of you do meditations, I will take this little time to clarify you with what is the purpose of Buddhist meditation. Usually the purpose that we meditate is to find the peace, find that tranquility, find that calmness to our mind. That's the purpose that many people meditate. But Buddhist meditation doesn't stop from that. It doesn't stop from that. It goes beyond it. That is why I said it earlier. The purpose of meditating is to first to be calm, and once your mind becomes calm, your life becomes clear. So Buddha gave a wonderful simile for that, a metaphor for that. Buddha gave this simile. Our mind is like a lake. And when the water in the lake is turbulent and it is muddy, can you see the bottom? No. You cannot see it. You cannot see through it. But once the water becomes settled down, the mud settled down, now the water becomes clear. Now you see the fish, and you see the beautiful stones and the things that are inside, under the water, at the bottom. Same like that. The first practice is to clear the mind. And that is called, in Buddhist meditation, it's called samatha. Samatha means tranquilizing, being settled down. That's the first part. And then your life becomes clear to you. And the becoming clear and seeing it clearly is called vipassana. Vipassana is seeing the reality of life and understanding this impermanent nature, the changing nature of life. That is called vipassana. So we both practice it. But today, as we talked about the loving kindness, let's all practice the loving kindness. Let's try to spread the love and kindness to all the beings in this universe. So with the meditation first part, the first half is dedicated for calming your mind. And in there, we focus on our breath. And then let's turn into the loving kindness. So I would invite all of you to sit comfortably. Sit in a relaxed way. Not too much relaxed, but in a comfortable way. You can keep your palms in two ways. You can keep in the traditional way of left palm under the right palm, or you can keep your both palms facing downwards on your knees. Either way is acceptable and feel relaxed. First of all, let's take time to settle down. I need you to think that you have time. You have enough time to do this meditation. Now let's start to explore our breath. Note that where you feel your breath, your inhale and your exhale. When you breathe in, you feel in the tip of your nose, the cold air touching your nose, entering your lungs, filling your lungs. As you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you feel the warm air touching your nose, emptying your lungs and flowing out. Just feel it.